Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Weeb Weekly. I am in Syracuse, New York, far from home like Spider-Man, but I am joined by my ever home
Great way to
podcast
start.
host
Great way to start.
Jose coming out of Austin. How we doing?
How you doing, Majid? I'm very excited. Lots of cool news to cover. A very spectacular episode of What If, and a lot of hype for this week's Star Wars anime breakdown. How are you doing, Mizu?
Mhm.
Wakanda forever.
Listen, was he wrong though? Was he wrong? Mizu, if you want to say hi, you want to say more than Wakanda ever, go off. But I do want to get into this.
I just wanted to say that before the What If episode came out, I actually rewatched Black Panther for like
Okay.
the 17th, 18th time.
Okay.
So and then it just rekindled how I felt about Killmonger, and it made me think about there's so much potential that this character had if he did not die, or like I wanted to see more of him. But boy, this What If episode really showed off what he could do.
So yeah, I think what's interesting is that when I watched Black Panther for the first time, I was like, I'm on his side. And for a large part of the movie, like it's kind of like they point you in the direction of like you should be on his side, because in the end, it kind of comes to fruition that that T'Challa ends up doing a lot of the things that Killmonger wanted. He's like, we are going to open up Wakanda and we are going to help out those who are being oppressed, our brothers and our sisters outside of these borders. And I think that's essentially what I mean, if I'm not horribly misunderstanding the episode, that's what Killmonger was trying to do here. I mean, he was it was trying to fit the motivations and plot of an entire supervillain inside of a 31 episode. Like a 31-minute episode is tough to do. But essentially what it looked like to me is he saves Tony Stark after intercepting intel for the 10 Rings trying to assassinate him, uses him to build up an army that attacks Wakanda, and then comes in as the hero so he can then take over Wakanda. And he's doing that all in order to make sure Wakanda will go and help outside of its borders.
So what I got, first of all, I want to say that I love how this episode showed off how incredibly smart Killmonger was. Because in the original, they showed off he was smart, but they didn't show off like how intelligent he can be and how the way things, because he just seemed more aggressive in the movie than showed off his intelligence. But in this episode, he gave off a very he played Game of Thrones. There's a lot of Game of Thrones symbolism on what he was doing, and I love that. I love how they showed off how intelligent he was. With that being said, his plan pretty much was to, you could say, get to Wakanda, get at least the throne or in a position of power in Wakanda. And that was his plan even in the original movie.
Yeah.
But this time he had more resources, i.e. Tony Stark.
Yeah. Which is a good amount of resources.
Absolutely. Almost unlimited amount of resource.
Yeah. And it was like what's his name? The guy who plays Tony Stark's like one of his best friends. He's in
Rhodey.
It's like Rhodey saying he spends like Tony Stark spends $20 million on a slow Tuesday in Vegas. I was like, that is unlimited money, unlimited backing, that kind of thing. And I think it was cool that they fleshed out Killmonger's background, because they were like, hey, listen, this guy was in Harvard and then he was a Navy SEAL. Like this guy is spotless. He is staunch clean, because like he technically was until he reveals that every marking is a person he had killed. And so it was cool to see the smarter side of, because the thing is like, you're not going to be a villain for Black Panther in either the Marvels or the like the movies if you're not intelligent yourself. He's one of the smartest people in the verse. So it was a dope episode. I really enjoyed seeing it. I thought they would go a little bit darker with Tony. They just kind of made it seem like an alcoholic asshole. What do you think, Jose?
I'm just thinking of every single Easter egg that we just got. I love the fact that they were able to add a lot of personality and intertwined character development between the actual actor and the character. So I think like a lot of bit of Michael B. Jordan permeated to this episode, especially with all the anime references.
He was like, I like anime, bro.
No,
Yeah.
not just that. Not just that. We had the Gundams. They explicitly mentioned Gundams. They also had, and I think I knew that there was some influence about this, but after doing research and talking with Juju, I actually realized that his costume, once he gets to Wakanda, is very, very similar, like even color wise, to Vegeta's Saiyan armor. Like it was made to resemble Vegeta at his request. So like when he was making the movie, he was like, yeah, I want my costume to look like Vegeta during the Saiyan saga. And I'm like, yo, this dude is fucking in. So like I love.
You want to look like Vegeta during the You mean the guy who gets his tail cut off, the guy who gets donut hold?
Okay,
Vegeta during the Saiyan arc took
Frieza saga.
No,
you're right.
Not Frieza. No, Vegeta.
Yeah, no. Frieza. That's when it's like it's without the shoulder pads.
Oh,
it's just the vest.
Yeah.
Like
just the vest. Like not the full thing. Just like with the vest. It looks very, very similar, and like the colors even like match up. So I love the fact that they had that synergy there. I also like the fact that they started mirroring the events of like the beginning of the Avengers Initiative. So all about Iron Man. And then like as soon as Killmonger comes in, every moment that's like key in the movie changes so quickly. Like he stops Ironmonger by basically just outing him. He snitched.
He was like, I have the receipts, and I was like, let's go.
I got the receipts. So he did that. He took Happy's position, like he took Happy's promotion, which he got at the end of that movie. He also took Pepper's job, all in the span of like 2 or 3 days. He also managed to give, well, the show also managed to retcon the initial movie. So if you guys remember, Terrence Howard is the original roadie during 2008's Iron Man, and like he had the wage disputes that led what's it called? Oh, fuck, I forgot his name. Don Cheadle. To be cast as Rhodey in Iron Man 2, 3, and then all the subsequent movies. But like by putting in Don Cheadle in this, they're literally retconning Terrence Howard out of the MCU.
Oh yeah, they did the same thing.
Which is an L.
They did the same thing for Norton as well. Remember the Avengers Initiative episode? They brought in Mark Ruffalo's Hulk and not Norton's Hulk.
Edward Norton had fleshed out in terms of background. That is crazy. Yeah, I hadn't even thought of that. And you know what's funny? And it's something we didn't cover last week. The person who voiced Spider-Man in last week's episode, the zombies, wasn't Tom Holland.
No, it wasn't him.
I don't think we covered that. I think we're underestimating in terms of like, we're like, oh, what if this is so much fun? Like all these things. Like, I think we're underestimating in what it's doing in terms of pushing the plot forward for the MCU, because Tom Holland only has one more movie as Spider-Man, and they're essentially, this is like a soft opening for this kid.
Wait, Tom Holland only gets one more movie as
in the sense of like the MCU, like he this is gonna be technically possibly his last film as an MCU wise, and
unless Disney and Sony renegotiate.
So they have, but like I mean, it's all weird. They've made I don't know at that.
It's really weird because like I mean, we're gonna cover this later. But I mean, there's already been overt references to the fact that like Tom Hardy's gonna be like in the MCU fighting Spider-Man. So like that, like or they're gonna build their own cinematic universe, Sony. And I mean, the multiverse is a thing now, so like that can happen. But I do agree. The voice, having the original voice cast is pretty cool, and it also adds a lot of layers, right, to their personalities now that they are encountering different different scenarios. The main thing for me, I don't know if you guys agree from this episode, besides obviously like Killmonger just absolutely wrecking everybody at a game of Risk, because he basically just dominated the Monopoly board.
It was closer to Keaton because he was just taking up resources.
He was taking everybody up. the Watcher seems to be actually worried now. Like every time we see the Watcher, he's closer and closer and closer. And then when Killmonger is looking over the sunset, which is what he didn't get to do in the first Black Panther movie,
Well, he
he's
kinda
literally like
did.
grimacing. He's like, "Fuck!" Like I'm worried. Like I think this show, and I think this speaks to what I'd like to hear from you guys. Like the overall scope of what the hell the what if series is doing, at least right now, because they can extend it forever, but for like right now, what it's doing. And I think it's a perfect setup for the Watcher and the Multiverse of Madness.
So as like an introduction to who they are, like character wise, are you saying they're going to try and tie the what if, like the events of what if into the MCU movieverse?
Yes, because I think this is the introduction of Jeffrey Wright into the multiverse. Like as soon, because for example, like their Uatu eventually will play a large part in the MCU, because like when the Fantastic Four happens, he has to be there. When Galactus starts to come in, he has to be there. So I think they might be using what if as a setup machine for like the big people in the MCU. I just wanted to see if you guys echoed that statement and what has been your favorite what if moment so far.
I say absolutely, because I think they even mentioned it beforehand that Kevin himself said that we'll be seeing characters that haven't shown up in the MCU yet and can possibly show up in future movies. So yeah, so Watch of the Watcher is one. Oben from the Doctor Strange episode from the Library of Cagliostro, he could possibly show up.
Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck as well.
Howard the Duck.
I mean, Howard the Duck's already been shown up, but it's more like
adding him.
Yeah.
Oh,
but,
the duck that was at the Watcher's place, right? That was drinking a martini. That was voiced by Nick Kroll, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Excuse me for getting the sentient duck that was in one of the episodes.
No, you're good.
Spaced it.
It's just that he's basically a meme at this point, because he was Marvel's technically he was technically one of Marvel's like first movies besides the Sam Raimi movies, and it was a total flop.
On Blade as well.
Yeah. Oh well, yes, Blade 2. But like in terms of like a flop, that's been one of the biggest flops ever. It's been like
they made a movie about a duck who drinks.
A talking duck. Yes, Marvel does that.
Not named. Oh God, what's the talking duck that drinks from Disney? Well, he doesn't drink, but
Donald Duck.
Donald
or Scrooge McDuck. Or Daffy Duck. There's many ducks.
Why is there so many ducks?
I don't know. That could be an episode just in out of itself. What's your favorite
duck? Okay, this is gonna be a hot take here, but the duck in Lemonade, that's Banana Phone. Fucking the lemonade stand with the grapes.
I know you're
got
talking
any
about
grapes? That's peak duck right there.
No,
right
my duck is the duck from Wonder Pets, the little ducky from Wonder Pets.
My
you guys don't remember Wonder Pets?
I don't. No.
I remember Wonder Pets.
Oh,
I know
you, Nick.
No, but my favorite duck would have to be Psyduck from Pokemon.
What about Gold Duck?
No, Psyduck. Psyduck for sure.
Gold Duck was sick though.
No,
also,
that's my reaction to Gold Duck. That's my reaction.
Underrated duck. Every time you try and spell fuck and it autocorrects to duck, that's also an underrated duck.
Bish.
This has been Duck Talk. Thanks for checking in with guys. We'll see you next week for Duck Talk. Okay. My thing is, did you guys feel like the animation was worse for this episode?
I will be very honest. At the beginning, yes.
Right? At the beginning, kind of like chunky.
When they were showing, especially when they're showing Iron Man with the not Iron. Yeah, when Uatu is saying like just one decision, with one decision, one of the heroes is one of the most important heroes in the universe. That doesn't happen. When they're showing Iron Man do the snap, like his face just looks chunky as hell.
Yeah,
I'm like, what the fuck?
The FPS was slow or something. Like they dropped to like 15 FPS on the animation or something.
Yeah.
It was like,
but at the end,
weird.
but that last battle in Wakanda was superb. I love the animation there. Like that when he was riding the rhino and stuff like that. I'm like, yo, this is elite.
Quick side note. One thing I want to talk about, which was funny, that was floating around a little bit,
Okay,
is
let's get into it.
the part where Killmonger was talking to Rhodey,
Uh-huh.
and he was just like, oh, like, and he called him out saying, oh, like, you are fighting the military of your oppressors, and then Rhodey
True.
says that line of,
You got to be
in
part
order
of
to
the system
change
to
the
change the
system, you got to be
system.
within the system. And the part that's so funny is that there's like two schools of thought on that. Like some of us are just like, oh man, that's such a good thing to say. And then
Not true.
some people and myself included are just like, get the hell out of here.
It's the most
and I know that
bootlicker
sounds crazy,
response
like,
of all
why?
time. Yeah.
Exactly, because like it's just like, because from at least like from my perspective as a black man, hearing the whole, in order to change the system, you got to be within it. That whole spiel, it's like, it sounds logical, but like you actually look at history, there are plenty of people who were in the system, and yet things didn't go very well. I mean,
Yeah.
and like it's evident, and like not even just for like black people, other people of color, women. It's like we had people within the system, but as you can see, stuff didn't drastically change, and it took actual, protests. It took actual like
Activism.
forcible change to make that change. So, of course, like all I'm just saying is like a lot of people were like, "Oh man, that was such a powerful thing." Rhodey said, and other people like really like rolled their eyes. Like I'm not gonna lie, I rolled my eyes so hard when Rhodey said that. I was like, "Bro, just die already, bro."
This what if, let's wash you from this what if. Let's retcon Rhodey. No, here's my thing, is like, it's like, even from just that, like from that one specific circumstance of like black like Americans, like the most influential people in like terms of changing like what happens with this country in terms of desegregation and things like that were outside the system. Like Martin Luther King was not like a police officer. Malcolm X was about as far outside of the system as you could be. Like all of the most important people weren't in the system. I'm sure there was some great, like, I mean, like if you look at like people like Frederick Douglass or other people who became politicians with their careers and what they influenced, obviously.
Supreme Court judges, all that stuff.
Yeah, but the majority of people that influence the system are usually outside of the system, Rhodey.
Yeah.
So God damn it, get it together. But that brings me back to the conversation here that I started the episode with, essentially, is, do you guys agree with Killmonger here?
100%. Well, not with, okay, so with this version of Killmonger,
okay,
I think he went a little bit overboard.
How so?
Because, for example, once you get to Wakanda, we know from the comics that Wakanda themselves, like they are very exclusive. Like they do not give a shit. Like they will protect Wakanda first, and everything else comes second. I think you could have expanded on that sentiment a lot more with the King of Wakanda, and then and then maybe after you have them all on your side, then you could enact a plan. But he just wanted to go for like the quick kill, like use the resources, get the Gundams in place, and beat him up to get the powers of the Black Panther. But at the same time, he forgot the most important piece in the chessboard now that T'Challa is gone, and it's Shuri. Because that's what we see. Like Shuri figures it out. No, but like, I mean, the thing is, Tony's lost in the sauce at this moment. At this point in the episode, since he didn't go through the whole 10 rings operation, he's still lost in the sauce. So he's embracing his party boy mentality, and he can't see what Killmonger is doing, right? But I mean, he ends up going to the Shadow Realm because of it. Like, he literally got speared
in the shoulder.
Yes, but a few arteries.
That's what killed you?
Yes,
that's
a few arteries.
Shoulder shot? I guess.
Yeah, but
there's a main artery somewhere.
Yeah, there's a few arteries there that can fuck you up. But what I think is the most important thing that he missed is the fact that like Shuri didn't trust him, Pepper didn't trust him. So like, and I mean, those are the two women that are going to like according to the foreshadowing of the episode, going to try to bring him down because they have information, they have the dirty goods on him, right?
They have the receipts now.
Yeah, they have the receipts now. So
I was gonna say that I agree with him to a point, but what going off of what Jose said is that what's his downfall is that the lack that he doesn't have the trust. Like he has like one thing I always talked about, which I think I made a video on my other account, which was Killmonger is a great villain, but like he's a terrible revolutionary.
Mm-hmm.
Like a revolutionary's main thing is that he's able to rally people behind him.
Mm-hmm.
And Killmonger, even to a point, even in the main film, the only reason he had people behind him is because he turned in Claw. But his mindset to a point didn't reach anyone to a point besides like Wakabi. And then in this episode, he it's even worse because he relatively doesn't have, besides Wakanda. Yes, Wakanda in his corner, but they don't necessarily see his ideals of what he's trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's
I felt
very
like
backhanded. In the
exactly,
movie,
I
he's
felt like
very
he
upfront.
was like lacking in that area. And another thing that another TikToker, I don't know the person's name, but they also brought up the fact that like you can't be a champion for your brothers and sisters if you are half the time killing them.
Yeah.
Like you're even said in the movie, like I kill people, I kill my own brothers and sisters on this very continent. Like, that kind of goes against your whole ideology, don't you think? Him attacking black women, like all the women. Think about it. T'Challa is able to conceive because he has a circle of trust, and on top of that, he also has as black women. Most of his inner circle is black women. Killmonger doesn't have any of that, and the one black woman he did have in the beginning of the movie, guess what he did? He killed her.
Yep.
The woman in charge of giving him the heart-shaped herb, he almost choked her out and then told them to burn all the heart-shaped herb. Like basically, what I'm basically trying to say is that I definitely understand his ideology. Half the time, I do agree with it. But if I was in his shoes, I would focus more on getting people on my side and showing that, like, you talk about like uniting black people, but have you ever really did it? Like, have you actually really united? Like, what are you doing? So yeah, I thought that was like the part that I felt like that was missing. Or I even made another video talking about how I would rewrite Killmonger a little differently. Is that I would have had him like pleading more with like T'Challa and all of them to be like, see things from my perspective, and like being more hesitant to hurt his brothers and sisters. So it will make his argument more compelling that he is very avid, very determined,
and not just power hungry.
Exactly, because not gonna lie, in both the movie and the show, you can argue that he says that he's doing it for a greater cause, but most of the time he's doing it out of revenge. He's doing it out of revenge and anger. I'm surprised he didn't kill T'Chaka, the king, this entire time.
There were several times.
And also, I kept saying to myself, like, he's gonna die. He's definitely gonna die. Like,
I was like, he's too close. He's too close to T'Chaka. That's GG's.
You have the same eyes as your father. I'm like, oh yeah, he's dead. Oh yeah. After that,
I was expecting a claw in the stomach or something. I was like, how did he make it out of this? They're watching like the sunrise or the sunset together. I was like, this has got to be it. This is it right here. I was like, he's the reason your dad's dead. I was like, you gotta capitalize here. But no, I think Killmonger is very similar to Madara in a lot of respects, in that ideologically the stance that they stand on can seem very appealing. But the way they go about achieving that stance is really what separates, you from like, okay, maybe this isn't the best way to do it. Because, Madara is like, I want heaven for everyone. But it's like, you also murdered like 20,000 people, and Killmonger is very much the same. He's like, I want to like spread Wakanda's resources with the world. And it's like, you just started a war, it's like there's American destroyers off the coast of Africa to attack a country most Americans didn't know existed. So I was like, definitely a bit confusing in terms of how we try to achieve it. Speaking of confusing though, unless gentlemen, do you have anything?
I was gonna say that we also got one of the most important moments in the entire show, which was an actual ceremonial like funeral for T'Challa. Like he like we as we know, like we had multiple scenes, right? So we had in my opinion the most important quote in the show, which I will literally try to read it off right now because I have the show on my now. He says T'Challa. So okay, to set it up, when Killmonger is taking the power of the Black Panther, he has to go to the astral plane, right? He has to go to the astral plane to meet with the previous Black Panthers, right? And he doesn't see his father, which we thought he was going to see. He sees T'Challa,
But his
his
father
cousin.
wasn't a Black Panther.
Yeah, I know. But like
No, it's all ancestors go. Wakanda ancestors go to.
Yeah, but then in this case, like there's the tree of the panther, like where all the previous Black Panthers like manifest, right? And then T'Challa comes out, and then the most powerful quote that I've seen in the show is, "Power unearned can be a very volatile force, cousin." And he says it'll get the best of you on our plane, on your plane or on ours.
Yeah.
So that is I think that is a very powerful quote, because it's true. Like, and going back to what Mizu was saying, like being a revolutionary, being a catalyst for change requires you being in a position of power, right? And if that power corrupts you, absolutely, then your whole mission is going to be corrupted. Does that make sense? So like the fact that T'Challa isn't angry and T'Challa's just like disappointed is very, very cool to see. Somebody that like has basically transcended the plane that he's in.
Definitely.
Yep.
But can we just say the fact that it's kind of scary coincidental that all the episodes that we had so far with T'Challa, specifically Chadwick Boseman, they all alluded to him talking in a more like spiritual sense, like, oh yeah, like as if he died already. Like, granted, it's still coincidental, but it's just so strange that he made those before he knew he was even going to pass.
Oh, so it was before he knew he was going to pass then.
Yes. Well, he knew.
I mean,
already.
He knew that he had the disease, but like I said, beforehand, he really thought that he could beat it.
Yeah. Huh. But that is you would hope that it provided him some kind of closure to be addressing the spiritual plane, like that kind of thing, and also just like showing his character's arc and his growth and all of that. But it is. I mean, it is very, very coincidental, and I guess it's nice because for a lot of fans, it also gives a sense of closure because, Black Panther didn't close in a way that it was like, oh, goodbye, Chadwick. And, we all know Infinity War, he comes back, all these kinds of things. There's a big end scene, final battle. It's like, oh, okay. So What If is now, once again, like I'm saying, it has more power than we're really giving it granted because it's serving ways to give people closure, move stories along, even introduce new actors, all these kinds of things. And that's why I think its impact is huge.
Yeah,
and the ceremonial funeral you were talking about.
Yeah, I think that it's just a heartfelt goodbye because I don't think there's any more because he's been in 3 episodes and I think said it was 3 episodes, yeah. So I think this is a pretty fitting goodbye because he is in the astral plane as the Black Panther and in real life. So R.I.P. to Chadwick. Your memory lives on, and you went out in a blaze of glory wherever you are. That's pretty dope.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, all it took was a sonic taser or whatever was going on there. And I thought when he went down, I was like, oh, he's not dead. He was like, yo, this sonic taser is craziness. And I was like, so he's alive? But it was like also like he shot Andy Serkis in the head and then he dropped Andy Serkis's like body and the face was fine. And I know it's like, we're not going to be doing like a ton of gore, but I was like, I feel like there should be a bullet hole or something. Yeah. Regardless, speaking of gore, boy, did we get some this week in My Hero Academia. Oh my Lord. We have one more episode, right? In this season and then we're done, or was that our closer?
I don't know. I have to look it up.
That was either 24 or 25. And we're getting deeper into Tomura Shigaraki's backstory, My Villain Academia, kind of the conclusion of Tomura Shigaraki's backstory, and kind of seeing how he came to meet All for One. And Lordy, I mean, if dark, I feel like Vanta Black is how dark the backstory is. Like it absorbs 98% of light. That is dark stuff. So essentially we see like after Tomura Shigaraki has murdered his family, he's just walking the street. And what's funny is I think like while it is just acting as exposition for Tomura's backstory, I think that scene of him walking down the street covered in blood serves actually as a pretty potent potent and relevant kind of reflection on modern society. People shirking away problems that we see in other people in, and being like, oh, the support systems at B will take care of this. Did you catch up on that at all, Mizu? Or
Oh, definitely. And on top of that, like it also goes into the fact that because he talked about how the more dense the city is and like the more people are there, the more the people tend not to care. I mean, this is
yeah.
facts. When my wife, she lived in New York for a good majority of her life,
Oh,
and
you get
she said every
desensitized to
time
everything.
y'all do something crazy in New York, it's just regular to them. Like someone even did a video talking about like watch this, and he just screamed to the top of his lungs, saying all the people who looked are people who are not from New York.
Yeah.
And
because everyone else is just, I gotta get to work.
Exactly. No, my wife was telling me that how every other day there are people who are trying to unalive themselves, and people don't like really like care at the time. They're like they're
People
annoyed.
like,
Like,
get
oh,
out of the way.
don't
I'm going to
stop the
work.
train, and I'm gonna miss my I'm gonna miss my stop to get to work.
Exactly. And it's just so it was a cool scene, like the old woman coming up to him. It's thinking, oh, it's just a lost little boy, and seeing his face, seeing the blood on his hands, and also the power of him saying that if someone had reached out to him to that day, who knows? Like like if someone had reached beyond the veil of human kindness, like would we be dealing with this Shigaraki we have today?
Absolutely. And I like how they brought that up, and it shows that like all it takes is
There's a human in there.
Yeah, exactly. All it takes is a chance.
Yeah.
And you could change the life of someone, good or bad. And no one helped him. And now he went down this path, and no one helped him except for,
all for one.
All for one.
The worst person that could help. And the funniest thing is the worst person was the only person willing to help the lost little boy. And so it's a funny dichotomy in storytelling. I mean, obviously, maybe he helped him because he was like, wow, this boy's covered in blood. Clearly he's up to something good. But so we saw that, and then we saw like he gets jumped and he kills these two extra people, and that's kind of his fall into grace, if you shall. But the biggest part of the episode really was the Redestro versus Tomura Shigaraki fight. And first off, his mech suit that gets him up to 150% stress just by like grinding into his skin, which would get me to 150% stress, was incredible. The animation was great. But the scariest part of the episode was Tomura just like limping on a shattered leg and just like smiling the whole time, which was awful. B, just touching the ground and destroying a city. Like, I thought the alleyway where he evaporated a couple of people that he didn't need to touch was scary. He destroyed a city by touching the ground. That's a villain. That's more than a villain. That's a Madara level threat. Like, that's terrifying.
Absolutely. And then remember, like I asked you earlier, you kept asking me, what's the point of the Liberation Army? Now do you see the point of the Liberation Army?
They're now what? The paranormal something or another.
The Paranormal Liberation Front
or something like that. So yeah, I mean, for those of you who have seen it or those of you who haven't, essentially now Redestro acknowledging that Tomura is genuinely the embodiment of what he wants to be. He's freedom incarnate. He is the liberation of your meta abilities, because he doesn't care what he does with his meta abilities or what happens when he uses them. So he is now basically bent a knee to Shigaraki, which was sick. And so has Gigamantia, or whatever his name is, has Tomura at this point officially become the successor of All for One.
Not yet.
Not yet.
There are a couple more things that are going to have to happen before.
Okay.
He is because technically he is the successor per se, but like it's kind of like Deku. He's building up to be it.
Mm-hmm. No, and it's funny because we haven't seen Deku in like 4 or 5 episodes, and this is gonna sound controversial, but I almost don't want to. I'm having so much. I want to show about Tomura Shigaraki. I do. He's a bad person. I shouldn't be on his side, but I am having so much fun watching the League of Villains just be genuinely evil. It's like getting an Akatsuki TV show. It's something I've been clamoring for years.
Exactly. I definitely agree with that. There are um, I wouldn't say that they're the first, but I like the fact that my hero
Mhm.
actually had the time to, change the perspective from the villains,
Yeah.
and we see from their perspective what they're doing, and you have that feeling of rooting for them when you shouldn't. But
Mhm.
I like how they did that. A lot of notable anime, like a lot of our well-known anime today, don't do that. Naruto,
No.
Bleach,
One
One
Piece.
Piece.
Yeah.
None of them have really sat there and we have dedicated episodes to looking at it from the villain's perspective like that. Grant, there might be an anime out there that
I'd
does
say
it.
the
I don't know
closest we
personally.
got is the Ame Orphan arc in Naruto, probably getting
And
closer to
there's
Nagato and Conan.
actually a movie. There, granted, it's not canon, I believe, but it's like there's a movie that's basically about the origin of the Akatsuki, and we
Mhm.
see them, become who they are and all that, and we see how they recruit certain people like Data Orochimaru and all of them.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only time. But then again, that's a movie, and it's
This is canon. Like
canonization.
this is us putting it down on a week by week basis, saying like you are going to get to know the League of Villains, and we're going to make sure if you want to watch this show right now, you're going to get to know the League of Villains, and it is.
Absolutely.
So his hair's changed, right? He went full Ken Kaneki, right? Kaneki, whatever. Like he went full white now, or was he always full white?
I'll say he has gone white, but then again, like the manga is in black and white, so I don't know
So
if it's
who knows? Yeah.
yeah, who knows.
It's oh my god, it was an incredible episode. I would say this has probably been my favorite 4 episode chunk we've gotten thus far. And the League of Villains are no longer a group of 9 people. They now have 9 lieutenants and 65,000 people under them. I don't even want to I think next week is the last episode, if I'm not mistaken. So we're shit. I mean, we're gonna have to switch to Tokyo Revengers. This is the last episode of the week, last episode of the season. We have to find new anime. Holy shit.
Oh, I think we have a very good anime that's coming up.
But
That's
we're gonna finish. I'm gonna finish that in 3 days, dude.
That's true. That's true.
I'm gonna finish.
Yeah, wow.
Star Wars.
But go into it.
But
Yeah,
I
okay,
know
so-
I gotta catch up though. Since we're speaking
Yes.
MHA, I gotta catch you guys up.
Mhm.
So I am officially 2 episodes away from season 5. So hopefully by next week I can be caught up with you guys. But I think
God,
I've put
remember the 1A versus 1B arc? It feels like years ago.
bro.
It does feel like
Dude, honestly, bro, like I feel like I mean I've put my big boy pants for this show. Like I've watched what 90 episodes in like 3 weeks. So like that's
3 weeks.
more.
Yeah, more than 3 weeks.
More
We've
than
been
3
doing
weeks. True.
Yeah,
True.
it's been like 2
True.
months.
True. Hey, very true.
The pants aren't that big, Jose.
Hey, the pants are big, but not
The
super
pants are big enough.
Not yet. I will let you guys know when my pants get big.
Gotcha.
Very One Piece sized pants.
Okay. I don't.
if that's the standard, then hey man, I'm right here if you need my help.
But
I thought we were talking about the time T-Pain rapped about his pants getting bigger, but I don't.
Oh
we
no!
don't go there
I was gonna like I
Lord.
will consider my pants being big when I can finish like 100 episodes of One Piece in like a week.
Hey, listen, just read it.
Yeah, hey, makes
That's true.
sense.
Yeah, you could.
Makes sense. But from what I have to catch up is I have finished the UA festival. The UA festival, which means that I got to see the Gentle Criminal fight, and holy damn. I like it. I don't like it as much as the Overhaul fight, because the Overhaul fight was like OP as fuck. We also got to
comparing
see
Naruto to Boruto. You just gotta enjoy them both for what they are.
Fair. I will be. This is the first time that I'll ever say it.
Oh,
I was very happy. I was very happy on how they handled Bakugo.
Oh,
I was happy. I was happy with how they handled Bakugo. Because he acknowledges the elephant in the room, which is the fact that everybody
He's a bitch. Oh,
yes,
what?
yes, but like at the same time, he's right. Like everybody at UA hates Class 1A because they're the ones that always start the shit. Like they are the ones that always start the stress. They're the ones that are always like the topic of conversation and the subject of villain attention. But who knew my man was an Avengers level threat on the drumsticks? Like, hello.
I forgot he played the drums.
I'm not gonna lie,
gifted.
that was a very funny moment. They're just like, oh well, I don't know anybody else has been like, are you even that good at drums? He just looked there, he just turned real quick and just started playing the drums and just killed it.
Dude, I was like, let's murder everybody with killer music. I'm like, okay, Bakugo, I'll give you this one. That was pretty cool.
That was a great heavy metal band.
And the fact that he is roasting, I think is who's the one? Electric Quirk, IQ.
Denki.
Denki
Kaminari.
Yeah.
Okay, so the fact that he's roasting Kaminari because he can't keep up with Bakugo's tempo on the drums, I'm like, yo, this is pretty dope. And obviously, I mean, Takoyami being like the shredder in the like it just screams.
It matches.
Like heavy metal.
It just matches. Yeah, it matches his personality so well. You could just see him just like being in
and act like we didn't see that whole scene with Deku and Ida trying to dance.
Oh yeah, that was
Deku.
Stick to fighting. Stick to fighting, bro.
What does Deku end up doing? He's like the ice shaver or something in the end. Like
he's supposed to hold naval laser while he
skates naval laser around. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So that's I like the teams that were chosen. I like how they set up like everybody's talents, which is pretty cool. But in terms of I have a question because I always get really confused when they try to explain it like very blatantly. I'm like, okay, this is what happened. I'm talking about the moment where they're explaining Deku's progression with One for All, right? So at the beginning,
in terms of percentages.
Yes, because he had 5% at the beginning, and then he did 8%
12% in the Stain arc or 8% in the Stain arc.
8% full cowling. Then he did 20%. With Eri, and then went 100% for like a second to like get rid of Overhaul. And now he's supposed to be at 12%. 12%? No, 18%? I don't know. Whatever. I think he's supposed to be at 12% full cowling and then hit 20 or 18 when he does like the shoot style with the finger flick.
Yeah.
I always get confused at like how much is what does 20 mean? What does 18% mean? What does I don't know. Like this dude like does like wind pressure attacks that literally collapse an entire forest, and that's like 8%. I'm like, what the fuck is this? What is this?
Well, here's the thing. In the annoying part about MHA is percentages don't mean a fucking thing.
Okay.
This most recent episode we had 150% stress. You know, it's like it's in Spinal Tap. You know, the knob goes to 11. Okay. And it's the embodiment of plus ultra. Go above 100%. So technically, full cowling is just him like buffing his speed and strength.
Okay.
And so if he's like, I think he can go up to 20% full cowling now, and that's what allows him to use Black Whip. You'll get there eventually. But if he wants to use shoot style, he has to do precise 18%, so like to his finger. So that's like outside of full cowling.
Yeah, basically the percentage is stopping him from hurting himself.
Yeah,
so like basically 18% means that's what he can do without hurting himself or having broken bones and all that jazz.
He wanted to stop making out with the old lady,
for sure.
Which I mean couldn't be me, but to each their own.
I think it like the gloves idea is pretty cool. So May showed up. She a dirty girl too. She literally didn't bathe. She literally didn't bathe for days.
I didn't know if you found a fan fiction I was unaware of.
No, she do be dirty literally, man. Mm-hmm. She do be dirty.
Dang. And on top of that, like why my whole little gripe was that why did they make her look like a child? You know how old
the 5 kilometer girl is?
Oh no, I was talking about they look similar because of the hair. I was talking about like the support girl, the girl that does like all the Gundams and stuff.
I think you're talking about
I was gonna talk about
Gentle
LaBrava
Criminals.
next.
You're talking about Gentle Criminals, little lolly.
Sidekick.
Because she's 22. I searched it up afterwards. She's 22.
She's 22. Yep.
What that Google search look like? is gentle criminal sidekick legal? Question mark. And they're like,
No,
yes,
hey,
yes.
no. I was actually concerned because like when she throws himself on top of him and says like, "Oh, I love you," I'm like, is this like a friendly love, or is this like an actual love?
buddy,
I'm not gonna lie.
we are.
When I first saw that scene,
was
I
like,
literally turned on my TV like, "Hey, gentle, get her the
Down.
fuck off of you."
Down, down. This is a
Down.
children's show.
That's probably a
This is
child. And
children's show.
then I Googled it. I'm like, oh, but still, it's very awkward. Like,
It's awkward
as
where you
fuck.
look-
It's Paimon. I mean, it's that's dipping a toe in anime. If we're being real, that's
That's
to
true.
be honest, yeah.
That's
to be
true.
frank, it is very tame
it
compared
is.
to others.
Nothing.
Master Roshi has done worse.
I'd like
Good
to
lord,
introduce you to a
yeah.
little show called No Game, No Life, aka Not Related by Blood. Trust me.
Oh,
Like,
God.
It gets worse.
God, Jesus.
So
But-
you're now in. Where are you? You've now beaten Gentle Criminal, but you're not at season 5. Is there?
There's two
filler
episodes left. There's
Oh.
the pro hero arc. I think this is the moment. Like from what I've seen, just like in the preview, I think we meet a dude with wings. Hawks is his name.
Hawks. You haven't
Yeah.
met Hawks
Hey.
yet? Oh,
The person that people simp over so much.
You know what they call Hawks fans? What do they call them? Is it baby Hawks or
They call them something bird related.
Yeah. It's something bird related. Yeah, it's a whole group, dude.
Oh,
It's
God.
wild. The Hawks fangirls are out there. Actually, what you're about to watch is one of the best fights in the entire show. So excited for that.
In 2 episodes? Okay, I'll take it.
Oh, okay.
It's
I know
Providence
where he's
Bird.
at. Oh,
Yeah, it's
okay, I know
Providence
where
Bird.
he's at.
You're gonna
because
like
he fights Endeavor.
you're gonna like it's chill. It's like it's an MHA chills moment.
Okay, nice. That's dope because like the battle at the construction site had me all shook up. I will say La Brava's quirk is OP as hell. Is it just like love steroids? That's exactly what she does.
So
you're gonna
it
have
pretty
to
She's a
much-
remind
healer.
me.
She's a Mercy from Overwatch.
So, like, in a way, yeah. So, whoever she has a connection to, and someone returns that affection towards her, then yeah, basically the person who she loves,
Uh
they get basically buffed out. Like they get
huh.
all types of
Oh.
Lover
protection,
mode.
all types of like, yeah. Because think about it, Gentle Criminal. First of all, Gentle's quirk
Is
is
OP.
underrated. His
Yeah.
freaking
OP.
quirk is amazing. And I love how it shows you that if Gentle went down a better path and he didn't have the situation that happened to him, he would have been a fantastic hero.
Yeah.
But with that being said, that quirk on top of La Brava's quirk, that made him like was like on a whole different level.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I thought that was pretty cool. But that's pretty much La Brava's quirk is that whoever she loves and who returns her affection back gets a super
Crazy
buff.
buff. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
It
forgot about that.
It was like that whole sequence was absolutely crazy of like him getting the buff, doing like the whole sandwich, like the gentle sandwich, whatever. It's like 5 different like destructo discs of elasticity right in his face. So that was pretty fun. And then we got to see the St. Louis Smash. I think this is the second strongest that he's done besides Delaware. I don't know.
We're talking Deku. Yeah, Deku's trying to make his own.
Okay.
Yeah. Deku tries to like separate his smashes. Like he uses like things that All
Delaware,
Might didn't use. So yeah, Delaware, St. Louis. I don't know why they choose America. I mean, I guess like,
Yeah.
hey, talk about pandering.
All Might. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is All Might American?
No,
but
All Might's
All
not
Might
American,
is-
but he likes he is a fan of America because
Hell yeah, he is.
in My Hero, America is like the superhero capital.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
they said it at the beginning of
Whoa.
the show, or like
The boys. Essentially the
yeah,
boys.
basically almost like yeah. And if you look at if you go on the manga, there's actually a whole
Yeah.
panel of like a silhouettes of actually notable superheroes. Like there's a silhouette of Batman, Superman, Flash,
Oh,
Spider-Man in
That's
certain
dope.
ways, but they don't show them, but like it's insinuated, it's a silhouette of them. So
that's sick.
So yeah, America is like the superhero capital of the My Hero world, and All Might he went there as a foreign exchange student, and he
Yeah.
learned a lot of things about America, and he brought those
Japan.
ideals
Back with
and
him.
like basically aesthetic to Japan.
Love the
Can you
McCarthyism going on.
imagine? Can you imagine All Might meeting like Deadpool or something like that in America?
Could you imagine Tomura Shigaraki being like, I'm gonna run Japan, and then Superman comes over and just like wipes his shit? Like that was like, it's a good thing Superman was born in Kansas.
Shigaraki meeting the Joker is just gave me a mental picture that would be freaking.
No, can you imagine? No, can you imagine if Joker was talking to like what's his name? Dang,
All
I
for
forgot.
All for One?
Twice. Can you think about it?
Twice.
He's
Bro.
already messed up in the head. Can you imagine if something
He'd break him.
Joker? All he had to do was have a conversation with Joker.
He'd break him. He'd break him.
Oh yeah, that'd be bad. That'd be real bad for him. I mean, imagine like if you got like Harvey Dent talking to Twice. Now that would be on
Lord.
board.
Oh my God.
That would make a lot of sense, right?
That's the Hannibal Lecter. That's the Hannibal Lecter. Like,
Yep.
like he just like makes you go crazy even more. Like he's just wild.
Okay.
But yeah, that's where I am. I'm 2 episodes away from episode 90, which is when the chapter number 90, whatever. That's when we start season 5. So I'll see y'all at the finish line when it comes to catching up.
So I have a little bit of anime news that I need to talk on as the resident caught up with Boruto guy. There's a lot going on in Boruto right now that the community needs to hear about. Naruto's about to die. Yeah. Naruto's about to die. Naruto's about to pass away. He is fighting a guy named Ishiki. He's not actually gonna die. But he's fighting a guy named Ishiki. Otsutsuki just unlocked the newest mode in Naruto's Super Saiyan evolution, which makes him crazy powerful. Naruto unlocked Baryon mode, and it makes him and Kurama smash their chakras into each other, and he becomes crazy OP. The episodes are getting absolutely bonkers right now. The drawing is gorgeous. People are upset about Baryon mode's looks, saying it looks fan-made. I think it looks sick. His
He looks like that in the manga.
He looks like that in the manga. He's got little wispy eyes, and that's it. It's incredible, and I'm not going to spoil what happens in the manga because I know, so I'm not gonna spoil anything. But yes, things are popping off in Boruto right now, guys. If you're listening and you're like, hey, should I get caught up on Boruto? Yes, there's slow parts, but there is slow parts in every anime out there ever. It is going insane right now. And also Sasuke got the shit slapped out of him, and it was fantastic. It was so fun to watch. Anyways, outside of that, it was kind of hearing Naruto say that he was going to give his life, and he's always been prepared to do it for a village that never gave 2 shits about him, and wouldn't give 2 shits about him if he died. What is the music?
I want to say, it'd be really sad if if they did kill off Naruto, it'd be really sad if they, at the end of it, when he does like pass away, what if they play like the ending intro of the first, the first outro to Naruto?
Yeah.
When he was showing him as a kid, and but this time it'll be different. We see him grow up. Like someone brought that up. I remember someone on Twitter saying that, and it's just like, yo, that would be the saddest shit I ever seen.
That would break me. That would break me. But Naruto's gonna become the Sage 6 path, so it's not a big deal. I had a theory go out that people really liked. So yes, I would be crazy sad, but that would also be a big what the fuck moment if they killed Naruto. And that is actually our stack 'em up for the week, is the biggest what the fuck moments we've ever seen in movies, anime, those kinds of things, guys. I have one that's not gonna win. Okay.
I just wanted to say, y'all, I never understand you guys. I never, and I'm referring to the viewers. Y'all be picking the wildest shit on our stack 'em up polls, man. So I will give credit where credit is due.
Yes.
All of our movies were great this week. Amazing.
Oh,
but
yeah,
y'all disrespected every single other one. So okay, let's hang it out. I will give our man Mizu his props. He gets his little clap because Zombieland.
Just the rich get richer, bro.
Bro, and it was so close. It was so close.
I kind of got scared when he said we were 1 vote away. I'm like, damn.
No, so final tally, right? 63% of you said that Zombieland was the best zombie movie ever, with 3,570 votes for yes and 2,101 votes for no. So I think this is this is the second most votes that we've had ever on a stack 'em up. So very
Over
hyped.
zombies.
Y'all
Yes.
destroyed my pick, which was Shaun of the Dead.
You chose
2,200
a
votes for yes, and then
Chose
2005
2005 British comedy.
Yeah,
Friend.
56% of y'all thought that Shaun of the Dead was not it. And then I was very sad for Nick because he was very close. He was only 200-ish votes away from winning because Train to Busan won. Got 62% of the votes. So it's a 1% difference. So y'all vote matter. Y'all's vote matters.
Yeah.
If it doesn't matter in real life elections, it matters here in Stack 'em Up.
Exactly.
So
Yes,
We use
I
majority.
appreciate
Actually,
it,
we
guys.
don't. We don't actually use majority.
Like I'm not gonna lie, you guys came through. The last two ones, I was on a losing streak. I had Fearless. I thought that one I already knew that was not going to be. I just want to put the name out there at that point. Like,
Yeah,
hey, if you want to
fair.
see Fearless, it's a really good ass martial arts film.
Mhm.
And the previous one, what was the previous one?
It was I'll get to it. It was Fearless there. Oh, the villain, the one that Nick won.
And then I try to help out us anime fans by putting Madara's name out there. 'Cause,
No.
he is very underrated
Standard.
villain. He is very popular, and he could, if more people watch anime, I definitely think that he would have won.
Yeah.
But
Kudos to
Zero.
Mizu. But yes, now that we have decided the winner of this week's Stack 'em Up, what's the tally? Is it 3 for me, 2 for Nick? No, 3 for me, 2 for Nick.
The annoying
And-
part is I have it written down at home and I have no idea. I know Mizu's in the lead. I know
Mizu's up by 2. I think Mizu has 5.
I think
so-
Mizu has 5. I think you have 3 and I
3.
have 2.
Yeah.
Did you win last week?
No.
Did
I
I
think
win
you
last
did.
week?
I got
You did. What
destroyed.
did you-
Yeah, you
I
won
think,
last week,
I think
bro.
it's 5-2 to
yeah,
2.
you won
I think it
because
was
you had
4-2.
Enter the Dragon.
Yeah.
So-
Oh,
no,
you
no,
did
no. Yeah,
win.
okay.
No.
Sidebar. Yes. So I have 3 because I got Return of the Dragon. You had
Oh, no,
won the
you
week
had it,
prior.
my bad.
You had won the week prior
With
for
Joker.
with Joker.
Joker. Yep.
I
And
only
then-
win when I pander.
Yeah. So you got the Joker win. I got the Bruce Lee win, and then now Mizu has the Zombieland win. Yay. Okay. So Mizu, delight us. What is the biggest what the fuck moment in anime movies in general? What is the
Culture.
culture? Pop culture? Yeah. Let's go.
So
Culture show.
I have to go with that. I don't guarantee this might win, but it is a possibility. But it is an oldie but a goodie. What the F moment that happened. And let's go back to the classic, often analyzed film, Psycho.
Ooh.
So-
okay.
Okay.
What is the what F moment we're talking about? What the F moment? Not the whole, the iconic shower scene. It's more of throughout the entire
be a lot
film,
of things.
the main character is a mama's boy. It's very evident throughout the
Oh, yeah.
film. And we hear him talking to his mother often at times. But then the main protagonist finds out that his mother, she goes in the basement and she finds out his mother has been dead this entire time.
Mhm.
She turns the body over, and we see her decrepit corpse.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's screaming her head off. And next thing you know, we see the villain come in dressed up as his mother with the knife, about to, end this woman's whole career.
Put her on a
So-
poster.
I'm about this man whole career. Yes.
That's the
So-
wrong number.
For real. I'll say that is not only like a really like what the F moment, especially if you've never seen the film, and then it's one of the like iconic ones because again, we've been told that the villain was harmless. He wouldn't harm a fly, and then we of course you get that iconic ending scene of him not hurting the fly, but he does that very cynical smirk at the camera.
The Kubrick stare.
Exactly. So overall, I would have to say that Psycho's what the F moment is Psycho, the reveal of his mother being dead.
Okay.
I've never seen this.
You've never seen Psycho?
You know what my favorite
Yeah,
part
well, I
about
kind
the
of
show
ruined the
Yeah.
what the F moment for you. Then.
Yeah, fuck.
is
Sad.
being the least cultured person. That's my favorite part. I like
you bring
I
the
like
swag,
not,
bro. You bring the swag.
Oh, is that it?
and the anime knowledge. Like we all bring something different, bro.
We all bring something different, and I, as I got second place, get to bring my take here. And the thing is, I'm split between two, because there's one that I know could possibly win it for me. I know this one could win it for me, and there's one I know if I say it, I'm going to lose, but I feel so passionate about it. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a man. I'm a man of honor. Okay, you know what? I'm not. You know what? No. I'm not pandering, okay? And if I lose, I lose, okay? So I need my anime fans to come out on this one. Tatsumi's death in Akame ga Kill was my number one what the fuck moment in all of pop culture. And for those of you who haven't seen Akame ga Kill, it's one of the best 24 episode animes of all time. It is about a little group called Night Raid. I already know which one you're going to do. It was the one I was going to pander to. And it's a group called Night Raid, and they are out there using a thing called Imperial Arms. And these Imperial Arms are incredibly powerful weapons that can shape the powers of government. And it's stated there's one rule in the entire anime. If two people with Imperial Arms fight, one of them has to die every single time. And you know what happens? That keeps happening. And you would think, oh, surely the good guys win every time. Nope. No, you'd be wrong. You'd be wrong, because most of the time it's the good guys losing, and you lose good guy after good guy after good guy. But here's the thing. There's one main character who gets an Imperial arm called Incursio from, I'm going to say, probably the best ever written LGBTQ plus character in anime ever. Hulot. And he gets Incursio, and Incursio's one of the strongest. It essentially makes you a mech. It makes you what Killmonger was aiming for. And in the manga, Tatsumi lives till the very end. And him and Akame skip off into paradise. Well, actually, technically, Akame wasn't really the main love interest. That was mine, who unfortunately passes as well. But in the anime, different story in the anime. In the anime, after defeating a castle turned into a mech, it goes to fall on three people, and Tasumi stops the castle from killing those three people. A very Superman moment. And as he's stopping this massive castle with his boosters all the way on, blood starts to spurt outside of Incursio. And slowly but surely, you realize that Tatsumi, who earlier that episode had promised he was going to survive, was not going to come through on his promise. And just like that, you lose Tatsumi. And that is my number one what the fuck moment, because he survives in the manga and they killed him off in the anime for no good particular reason other than to live up to the name of Akame ga Kill. I know Jason Todd getting crowbarred by the Joker would have been a better choice, and it would have won me this, but I am not standing on it. I'm not taking it.
I definitely agree with that. When I first watched it, I was shook. I was like, what? Did they really just kill off the main character?
Killed off the main character. Only
and here's the thing, and I know that sounds like, oh, there's plenty of anime and movies and stuff like that kill off the main character, but like, here's the thing, this was a battle shown anime, and 9 times out of 10 battle shown anime, they don't kill off the main character. They like to go down that dark, yeah, exactly. They like to go down that soft part where, like, yeah, they'll have some like crazy moments, but the main character will still live and get his dream and et cetera, et cetera. But no, it didn't happen that way in this. So I was like, wow, they really did kill him off, to the point where, I'm not gonna lie, like, I looked it up, like, it's just like 100% true. And that's when I found out that, the manga and anime went different directions with that. I was like, but I was like, wow, it really got me shook up. Like, no, I did accept the fact that he was dead for a hot minute. I was like, no, they did not just do that.
Yeah, I had to go back and read the manga to feel better about it. So I was like, if it's the last thing I consumed, he's still alive in my brain. It was insane. And it was the first time I'd ever really seen, because I watched it young into my weebdom, and it was the first time I'd ever seen the main character kick the bucket like that. And you really don't see it again until like Devilman Crybaby, maybe some of the JoJo arcs. But I mean, like, if a Joestar dies, does a Joestar really die? I don't know. So yeah, it was like devastating. But yeah, all right, Jose, let's take whatever pandery pick you have, and you can win, and we can all dance into the moonlight. And God damn it,
I wanna go for the win. I should go for the win. Should I do it? I'll let Mizu decide. Mizu, should I pander and go for the W, or should I keep it a little bit more cultured?
I mean, this is a tight race, but at the same time, go for the W if whatever feels natural to you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, whatever sits right in your soul, Jose. Okay.
Like whatever makes you sleep at night.
Yeah. Whatever doesn't keep you up. Yeah. It's not like Mizu chose a movie from the 50s and I chose a niche 24 episode anime, but sure. Do whatever helps you.
You know what? Fuck it. Let's keep it. Let's keep it tight.
Whatever makes the cool side of the pillow.
You know what? I'm gonna throw the winner into the wind, and I'm gonna pick a better pick, more culture wise. So my winner is sitting right on top of me, which is the biggest what the fuck moment in all of pop culture history, and
I'm your father.
It is the I am your father moment from Star Wars Episode 5. I'm not picking that.
The 7th time Jose used Darth Vader and stack him up.
Yes, hey, that would have won because not even the production crew knew about that. Only 3 humans knew about that. It was the writer of the show, the writer of the movie, George Lucas, and a few. I think the set director. Not even Mark Hamill knew about the line right as they were about to film it, and it is to this day, I think, the biggest plot twist in movie history. But in my opinion, another biggest plot twist of movie history is the end of one of the classical movies ever, which is Planet of the Apes. The end of Planet of the Apes, the biggest,
along.
Yes, the biggest plot, one of the biggest plot twists of the 60s or 70s, I think, is the original Planet of the Apes with Charlton Heston, the man that has played many ethnicities, many ethnicities in his life. But he did play an astronaut in the original Planet of the Apes, and at the end of the movie, after going through an entire journey in a supposedly other planet, right? We learn that he in fact did not travel to another planet. They traveled to the future, right? So they traveled in space to the future in a world where a post-apocalyptic Earth turned into sentient monkeys? ? And he realizes
we got a prequel. No one turned into anything.
That's true.
One of the few good prequels.
That is true.
Cinema.
That is true. That is true. Hey, Andy Serkis can do no wrong. I'll say that. But
Did he direct that?
No, but he was Caesar. Andy Serkis is Caesar, Gollum, like every single big CGI person besides Smog. It's Andy Serkis, bro.
That's fair. And like Thanos.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, that's Josh Brolin. But I mean, the thing is, that at that moment, people are thinking, okay, what's gonna be like the end? Is he gonna die? Is he gonna like survive? Like, are they gonna go back to Earth? Are they gonna find somewhere else to live in this Planet of the Apes? And it turns out, damn it, they blew it all to hell. It was a post-apocalyptic war. They were in Earth all along. So Charlton Heston did not leave Earth at all. It was all a part of the plan. So the monkeys take over. That is like that is probably one of the most iconic shots, I think, in cinema history, which is like panning out to Charlton Heston at the beach, and you see the Statue of Liberty in the sand with like the water eroding her. Was like
that practical effects? Did they do that in practical?
I think they had a rig. Let me double check. Let me check.
Because like I can't imagine they would CGI that in the 60s or the 70s. I mean, then again, we'll go back and watch Star Wars, what they could accomplish for like small bits. But like, I would imagine they did that in practical. Here's a question. Since we know because of the prequels
wow, okay,
yeah. Since we know the prequels of Planet of the Apes, essentially they make apes super smart, then the apes take over because the humans are like, oh, we need to kill these apes. If apes learned how to use guns, do you think they could beat Americans? Do you think they could take over the world? Do you think Planet of the Apes is possible if gorillas and apes learned how to use guns?
Yes.
Yeah. If they had the intelligence of human beings with their animal-like abilities, I think I'm going to say to a point.
100%.
Here's the thing: we've never seen a gorilla like work out, so we don't even know how strong they can be. Like imagine you taught a gorilla how to bench. You could make gorillas stronger. And they're already going to rip us in half.
Wow.
What? Was it practical?
I think they actually built a rig. That's really wild.
They built the Statue of Liberty.
Not the whole thing, but like just the top. Like they apparently it took 8 months to build, and I'm like, hey, yo, what the fuck?
Shit.
8 months to build? Jesus.
That must have been a large part of their budget.
That was, yeah. I mean, it was one of the biggest movies at the time. It was in 1968. Then again,
here we are talking about it still, so like, I guess it was worth it.
But to answer your question, yes, I do think the apes could win. Because if you think about it, Earth, like the way that humans think about it, right, is what's the farthest we can go without like getting into morally ambiguous ground, and if we have to do it, we just justify it with something. So I think the most important moment, it'd be like, okay, are we gonna use the atomic bombs? And at that point, once they start that, all hell breaks loose. And
you start nuking monkeys.
Yes, one thing that Earth has proven is that humans are actually pretty easy to get rid of. Disease is a pretty easy way of destroying humans. So like as soon as you bring in a nuclear holocaust and the possibility of a simian flu, yes, they would definitely destroy us. They would send us to the Shadow Realm quick, easy, and in a hurry. But there you go.
That's fair. But here's the thing,
this is going to be
what?
I'll say, gentlemen, this is going to be a very interesting how do I say this? Like an interesting pick for them, because this will show the true test if they're really like paying attention to what we're saying. Because now we got 3 unconventional choices for our WTF moments
from different decades.
Now at this point, like not even like we don't even have really like pandering. So whoever truly wins this one had a more compelling argument.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say because I wouldn't say that Psycho, that Planet of the Apes, and that Akame got killed probably have as much prevalence in our viewer, like our listenership's brains. I wouldn't say anybody is like, oh, it's like Superman being a Kryptonian or something, like something everyone knows. So this actually, this is really boiled down to.
That's
real.
Fans voting this
one was gonna be Bane breaking Batman's back.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a
good one.
But
we should do like honorable mentions at the end of these.
For sure. We can
because mine was gonna be Joker killing Jason Todd.
Damn, that's a big one. That's a big one.
It was a what the fuck moment because the viewership, like the readers, like voted for it. Like they were like, it was the one moment in like DC comic book history where they're like, what should we do? And everyone was like, fucking kill Jason Todd.
And Superman dying.
I was about to say that, like, what's bigger than that?
They voted for Doomsday.
The first time a superhero was killed. And
is that the first time a superhero was killed? Death Superman?
Well, I'll say the first time a big name superhero such as Superman dying to the point where
he was dead
because of his death.
Weeks.
For real. And because of his here's the thing, because of that comic book specifically, they started the whole when they said, oh no, he was not killed, he was in a Kryptonian coma. That whole thing started the whole bringing back superheroes back from the dead. If we went back in a what if scenario in history, if they kept Superman dead and like actually made him die like he never came back, our perception of heroes and death and
would be totally
so different. Imagine they just ended Superman with the after death of Superman. That'd be crazy,
dude. After what? At that point, it was 90 something. So like what, 70 years of a run. Batman's still alive, but Superman isn't.
I mean, but the thing is, if they had killed Superman there, like, what do you think the superhero escape would look like? Because I mean, it would be like Batman has died, Wally West has died, like all of these people are dead. Like the Justice League would be entirely different. I think it would actually be so refreshing.
Innovative
the comic book genre, because they would have to come up with new characters.
Yes, I think we would have a lot more diversity, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Because like the thing is, like,
it's a great what if scenario, bro.
You just what if superheroes couldn't come back?
Or it would take a sacrifice, like a soul for a soul. Like you have to sacrifice one to bring back another.
It's very evident when the fact that what was I going to say? The fact that they're kind of doing that now, like when they're killing off characters, they actually have like a set time. Like, okay, if we're gonna kill off Wolverine, we're gonna kill him off for maybe like an actual like 4 to 5 actual real years
Yeah.
before we use the character again. Because they got into the point where like, yeah, us killing off characters and bringing them back. And the only way I can see them bringing them back is if, you know, classic retcon.
Yeah.
You know, DC's known for their retcon. So
hey, yeah, you're right. I can't even.
I mean, Marvel's also known for that because, like, I mean, they had like the symbiote. They had symbiote Iron Man, and that shit.
Oh no,
like,
I'm saying like they also had retcons, but not as much as DC.
No, yeah, DC is goes through every 5 years just with a highlighter, and they're just like, yeah, we're getting rid of all of this. Don't know what we were smoking for that week, so we're getting rid of this comic book line. No, that's a great stack 'em up question. Maybe one day is like, hey, what superhero would you kill off forever?
Yep, but
just end their storyline.
That I think that we should do that for next week. But yes, just to reiterate, we got Psycho, the Norman Bates reveal. We have the Akame got killed death of who again?
Death of Tatsumi.
Tatsumi in Akame got killed, and then we have the plot twist at the end of the original Planet of the Apes, the 1968 version. And I think I should give myself a little bit of a props for not choosing Star Wars. And speaking of
like
Star
I did
Wars,
not choose Joker, and he did not choose his pandering pick.
What was my
dude, I don't
remember anymore.
I was about to segue. I was about to segue in such a
finish
pro
your
way.
segue.
Okay. I feel like I should get a props for not using Star Wars. And speaking of Star Wars, and speaking of anime, holy shit!
2 days.
2 days, baby.
1 day after this gets posted.
2 days, baby. We are getting Star Wars Visions anime. Star Wars is officially a thing. It's not an animated show. When people like try to say like animated shows are less than, it is actual anime produced by 7 of the biggest studios in Japan. I want to know what you guys are most excited for now that we have confirmation that all of the episodes are dropping at the same damn time.
It's not good for us personally. We could have had 7 weeks of content out of this, and we're gonna have to now all crush it in one episode. We might just spend the whole next week only talking about that. I mean, we're gonna have the MHA season finale, so I think MHA season finales are usually a bit more low key. It's like them prepping up for what's gonna be in the next season. But I'm stoked to be able to binge. I mean, I'm gonna fly back home. I'm gonna finish Tokyo Avengers, and then I'm just gonna sit down one day and just like crush it. I'm excited to see all the different kinds of art styles, because I'm the kind of person who appreciates a lot, like my anime, in a lot of different art styles.
Sure.
What is it? Katana Nagari is a very stylized anime that's like very different. And then there's Devilman Crybaby, and then there's, Mappa style, there's JJK. There's a lot of different ways to approach anime as a platform, as a forum, as those kinds of things. And so I'm excited to see how each one of these different studios kind of puts their own like flex and their own little spin on every episode. And maybe we can do a stack them up for which one was the best episode or something like that. But we got content coming out the wazoo. How about you?
For me, I would say I am most excited for the twins episode. So that's the one that looks like I think it looks very. If I show you a picture, will you be able to tell me which studio made that?
I can certainly try. This feels like a weeb pop quiz.
Yeah, no. Like I'm not trying to like quiz you or anything.
You sure?
I'm just trying to say, like, because I want to know what the art style, because it's not Ghibli.
Gotcha.
It's like it's very.
I don't think
distinct.
Ghibli is doing an. Imagine if Ghibli was doing an episode for this. Holy shit!
It would be crazy. It would be crazy.
I wish they did.
Give me Hayao Miyazaki in Star Wars immediately. No, give me Gunji Ito in Star Wars immediately. That's what I want.
I'm putting it in the chat right now, but essentially the twins episode is the one where we see the 2 blonde twins fighting each other in what appears to be like the Death Star or whatever, and one of them has lightsaber whips, and I'm like, what the fuck? I've never seen that before. I
think we're going to see a lot of things we haven't seen before, because that's the anime has that ability to do that. Like we're getting a lightsaber windmill.
Oh yeah, that's true. And my biggest thing, like besides the episode itself, is we are actually getting Boba Fett in anime. Like Boba Fett is coming back in anime form. So I'm very excited for that. How about you, Mizu?
Since you brought up the umbrella lightsaber, I'm definitely looking forward to like the one that is in black and white. It's definitely giving me Seven Samurai. Definitely, I can't remember the director's name at the moment. Kurosawa, like giving me that type of vibe. And another one that's also giving me Afro Samurai Champloo. There's like one in particular.
There's the one where they're samurai, but instead of katanas, they have lightsabers. That's the one I'm most excited for.
That was another one I definitely wanted. Those are the two I'm looking forward to seeing.
Jose, by the way, it's Studio Trigger. They're the people who did Kill La Kill.
Okay.
Yeah. The people who did Kill La Kill, and I believe, no, they didn't do Space Dandy because that's people who did Cowboy Bebop. But yeah, no, I mean, dude, it's obviously going to be incredible, and we're going to crush it. And we'll rank which one is our favorite at the end of it. But I mean, until we get it, how much can we really talk on it? You know, what if it flops? What if it just sucks?
What if it flops?
What if it just sucks?
You
just we're like,
I swear to God.
If it flops,
there's no way. There's simply no way. You think an animation studio can't put out one good episode of Star Wars content? They're all gonna be bangers.
Like the thing is, they have a lot of good, like it's Kamikaze Duga. Like they have a lot of good studios doing this.
Yeah,
like
this is like
flops,
their I wouldn't say not necessarily, but this could be their like really like big break to break out. Well, some of them to break out into more Western audiences.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It's like it's kind of funny though. It's like you weren't down for anime until we started animating like your shit. Like it's like with making the like remaking Train to Busan in English, you know. It's like, it's like anime seemed cool, but once they started like reanimating, like made it a Fast and Furious anime, that's when I could get behind that train. And I was like, hey, really? That's what it took? That's what it took to get you in? Like all the amazing storytelling in anime, and that's what it took? What, Jose?
I was gonna say that one of the episodes that I'm most excited for too is the one that in Tatooine, because we saw like the whole like the what's it called, the lightsaber guitar or whatever it was. Yeah. Like it was really cool.
Would that burn your fingers? Like I don't.
But I mean, if it goes off the top, if the igniter's at the top, then you're fine. But
of course.
Yes, logic. But it's made by Studio Colorido, which is the guys that did Typhoon Noruda, I think is the one that I've heard about the most that they did. So that style from that episode looks really cool. And they've also done Pokemon movies. That's how I know them, because they've also done Pokemon movies. So and Pokemon episodes, I mean. So the lineup looks amazing. Just to give you guys a breakdown for those weeb connoisseurs out there, it's Kamikaze Duga, Geno Studio Colorido. Studio Trigger is doing 2 episodes back to back, which is the Twins and the Elder. So that's the one that Mizu is very excited for, the Elder. Kinema Circus is doing The Village Bride. Science Saru is doing 2 episodes, and the finale is made by Production IG. So I think it's a very exciting time to be an anime fan and a weeb at the same time. The big reason that I wanted to bring this up before we got it is that I've had a lot of people in my comment section be very upset and be like, please don't ruin Star Wars with anime. And I'm like,
that's ridiculous.
What?
I made a Star Wars Christmas special. There's a Christmas special.
First of all, if we want to be real, want to be frank, Star Wars is doing that to itself.
Yep. Oh,
yes, I said it. Yes, your hate nurtures me. Your hate makes me stronger. Go ahead, say it in the comments.
Goodness, let's go. Don't ruin Star Wars with the anime, homie. Ask anyone that dealt with the OG Star Wars about the Christmas special, okay? Wookiee, you meet fucking Chewbacca's family, and none of them speak English, and they try and sing Christmas carols in Wookiee-ish, okay? Go back
and they wore clothes, which confirmed that Chewbacca is naked
all of the time. Like listen, Star Wars has been shooting itself in the foot for 5 goddamn decades, okay? This is one of its rare opportunities where it's probably not going to.
And speaking of Star Wars shooting itself in the foot, I think we should give him a little slow clap for actually giving us a slate that looks promising. We got the Knights of the Old Republic remake. We have Boba Fett in 2 months. We have the Book of Boba Fett in 2 months. Yep,
Jesus
it's coming out in
Christ.
2 months. And we also get the Kenobi series and the Ahsoka series on top of the Mandalorian. So dope.
We're gonna be talking so much Star Wars. All right, Mesa Windu is now our 4th podcast host. He's just on the show. We've actually we just sent out the email. A lot of fun. Him and Darth Choco are both going to be here permanently. That's sick, dude. I'm very excited. Do we have anything else that we had? And we had the Venom news.
The Venom news. I think that's the biggest like superhero news besides the Batman news. Not DC. You want to cover DC or Star Wars?
You know what?
DC or
you know
Marvel?
what? Let's do DC first, because how rarely do we get to give DC the floor? So essentially, what happened was, Michael Keaton is coming back. Thank fucking God. I miss him so much. He's my favorite Batman of all time. Michael Keaton is incredible, but essentially, he is directing the Flash movie. Or no, not directing. He's going to be. I thought he was
the director is Andy Muschietti.
Yes. And Michael Keaton has already essentially been confirmed for being in that new Flash movie. And we got a little leaked image of the bat symbol being drawn in red and gold. So that could mean one of two things, essentially, for us as DC fans. It's that either in this Flash movie, we might be getting the speedster bat, which seeing Michael Keaton as a speedster bat at his age is weird for me a little bit. Which is why I don't think we're getting the Red Death. I don't think we're getting Speedster Bat. I think we're finally doing Flashpoint, because a large part of the Flashpoint, I think we're either leading towards it, because obviously this movie isn't been called Flashpoint, but a large part of the storyline of Flashpoint is Barry Allen working with Batman in the alternate universe to get back and reset his timeline. And it is an older Batman. So if we're talking older Batman, we're talking Michael Keaton. So that is my current theory, is that we are at least going to be working our way towards Flashpoint. I don't know if this is going to be a straight up Flashpoint movie, because that is something that people have been clamoring for a long time. It got canceled. All of these things happened. What do you think, Jose? What do you think we're staring at here?
I just like my eyes really opened really wide, because it's not only Michael Keaton. Like Ben Affleck is apparently confirmed too. So we're gonna get Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck. What? How's that possible? There's no way.
They could be doing Flashpoint. Actually, they could, because they're in the Flashpoint. Oh shit!
According to director Andy Muschietti, who is the director of it and it too. Okay, blah. Affleck seems to have agreed to return as Bruce Wayne for one more film in the upcoming Flash movie alongside Michael Keaton in a quote substantial role. I have the full quote if you want me to read it.
I know what they're doing. So in Flashpoint, it's not Bruce Wayne, it's his father that survives, and he uses guns.
Thomas Wayne.
Thomas Wayne, and you get introduced to Thomas Wayne as he's literally trying to murder Harley Quinn. So Ben Affleck can be the Batman from the non-Flashpoint universe. Wow, Michael Keaton is Thomas Wayne in the Flashpoint. Oh my God, they're doing it.
I can read the quote to you if you want me to.
They're doing it. Yes, please do.
Okay, so it's kind of lengthy, but I'll try to go as enunciated as I can for Mizu to give us his opinions after. His Batman, speaking about Affleck, he said, his Batman has a dichotomy that is very strong, which is his masculinity. Because of the way he looks and the imposing figure that he has, and his jawline laughs. That's what the quote is. But he's also very vulnerable. He knows how to deliver from the inside out that vulnerability. He just needs a story that allows him to bring that contrast and that balance into a film. Ben Affleck is a very substantial part of the emotional impact of the movie, talking about The Flash. The interaction and relationship between Barry Allen and Affleck's Bruce Wayne will bring an emotional level that we haven't seen before. It's Barry's movie, it's Barry's story, but their characters are intertwined in more ways than we think. They both lost their mothers to murder, And that's one of the emotional vessels of the movie. That's where Affleck's Batman kicks in. And then he has another fucking quote. Jesus Christ. Okay, we are all human, and we go through the great. Okay, so does this mention Michael Keaton at all? No. So yeah, that was the big quote on what Ben Affleck will be doing in The Flash. And holy shit, that sounds like he's gonna be like in.
Yeah,
in it.
Like he's in there.
In.
It was the Flash's mother also named Martha.
No, I don't think so.
No,
It
sad.
better not be.
Yeah, it's just like all mothers are Martha. That'd be crazy. What about you, Mizu? What do you think? What do you think they're going for?
Well, with that being said, since you said Ben Affleck, it does sound like they might go down the Flashpoint. I mean, it's the only sense because, like, yeah, Ben Affleck is also Batman. You can't have two Batman unless you're trying to pull a multiverse thing.
Batman.
But I don't think DC, in my opinion, is ready to be doing such a thing.
With little prep.
Not at all. That's the beauty of it.
That's pretty beautiful. I'm not gonna lie.
So Flashpoint makes more sense. And with that being said, I'm not gonna lie, it made me also think of, side note, that Michael Keaton could have been a good Batman for like a Batman Beyond kind of movie, or so. That would have been
sick as
Michael Keaton as old Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
From the animated show, like that Bruce Wayne with like the old grumpy Bruce Wayne. That's Michael Keaton. That is Michael Keaton. There's no way. Oh.
Well, Michael Keaton's Batman was like very like, like goofy, but yeah.
But he was also, I think he was also very, very reminiscent of like the Batman that goes up over the edge. Because there's a very there's a very famous scene where he goes like, "You want nuts? I'll give you nuts." Like when he's talking to
get nuts. Let's get nuts. Yeah, that was so.
Nuts. And I'm like, that's a Bruce Wayne that's gone over the edge. Over the edge.
I love Michael Keaton as Batman so much. There's just so many like deeply iconic scenes that make my heart smile. But okay, all right, that's enough on a teaser image. We all have our theories, but obviously these won't be confirmed for like a year. We did get something that would be confirmed much sooner than that. Jose, what's going on in the Marvel sphere?
So I believe Mizu saw this as well as it came out, but essentially Mr. Tom Hardy and the great Andy Serkis are working on a movie that it may be small to some people, but it is actually a very big news. It's coming out in 2 weeks. It's Venom, right? Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. From the initial response of the movie, from the people that went to see it in London, they said, holy shit. Yeah. They said, holy shit, the movie is amazing. It's only 90 minutes long.
Oh, I love that so much.
Because Andy Serkis said we have to go, like, it has to be jam-packed, no filler, just right to the action. And I'm like, I'll take it, bro. So it's only 90 minutes.
To be when I see a movie is like an hour and 37 minutes, I'm already so much closer to liking it. Like, I love that.
I like longer movies, like if it's like Interstellar, where it's like a journey, but if it's like
an anthology,
but if it's like 2 hours and 30 minutes and you're just like filling it up with like, oh my god, like fetch quests in the middle of the movie, it's like, nah.
Yep.
The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi.
Oh, we same place.
The Last Jedi. But the idea is that after the movie there's an end credit scene, and Tom Hardy was at the premiere saying, please, if there's something that we can do together, is that promise me that you won't spoil the end credit scene and you'll leave it at the theater. And people were raving online, saying that it changes everything, that it's going to be huge. And just after that, we saw official pictures of Tom Hardy wearing the Spider-Man No Way Home hat. It's the set hat that they give to the set people. And I'm like, unless Kevin Feige is playing 5-dimensional chess, and we're just the pawns in his 5-dimensional chess game, this screams crossover to me. There's so much crossover already happening. We had the Jimmy Fallon interview with Andrew Garfield, where he literally like contradicted himself, saying that he didn't know about a video of him being in the set of Spider-Man No Way Home, and then he said that the video was fake. So he did that all in one interview. And then we have Tom Hardy and Andy Serkis in an actual interview literally saying, oh well, when is it going to be my turn to eat the Spider-Man? And like all of this has happened in the span of 2 weeks. I'm very excited, I'm very confused, and I'm also excited to see what you guys have to say. So Mizu, what do you think?
I feel like a part of me feels like Kevin is messing with us.
Okay.
Kevin is like, in the sense of because like it just feels so purposely careless that all these leaks and all this kind of stuff is coming out, and Kevin just seems, we haven't heard responses from Kevin yet. Like he's just like, oh, so to me, because of that alone, it feels like it possibly might be deliberate. Because think about it, you're telling me that Kevin was having a whole blown conversation with Tom Hardy with that hat on.
And
before
it wasn't like,
you're telling me he didn't tell him, like, hey, take that hat off. No, he took the, and here's the thing, even if they took the picture, I'm pretty sure he saw the picture
and let that circulate.
Like, he still said, post it. Go post it on social media. That means, I don't know, part of me feels
they
like
took the photo down. They took the photo down. That's the other thing.
But that's what they would, that's what they would do. I feel like a crazy person, like trying to convince like people that like ancient aliens dropped the pyramid or something. But like Kevin Feige would like put that picture up and then be like, oh, now take it down. You know, so people feel like we made a mistake. Like they're putting all of their, I think they're honestly nervous. I think they're nervous about No Way Home. I think they were nervous, at least for a long time, until Shang-Chi showed what it can do. But like, I think they're putting they're putting their best foot forward. And they're playing like spy games, and they're doing like rogue marketing and all these kinds of things. I don't know. Maybe I'm being way too paranoid, Jose. I feel like you're the closest one to this. Do you think Feige's playing 5-dimensional chess?
I think it's very close because of the fact that they haven't even teased or given like any single footage or anything. I mean, we just got the trailer like a month and a half ago for Spider-Man No Way Home, but there's still a very important sixth member of the Sinister Six that they're not showing us. And I think they're doing that on purpose. It's either to protect the Scorpion or Vulture, because that's the only one that they haven't showed, or Rhino. But like having it be Venom and having it be Tom Hardy's Venom would literally break the internet twice.
Yeah.
It would, like, if you had actually, you know what? It makes a lot of sense because of what Misu said before the podcast started. This is going to be Tom Holland's last film in his contract with Marvel. If they bring in Venom and it's a banger, well, I mean, the movie's going to be a banger anyways, but if it breaks box office records, if it if it sets up a glorious Sony verse or whatever as well, and they can explain it using the MCU's reasoning of the multiverse, that would be a cash grab for both companies, right? Oh, yeah. And it would force Sony to have to renegotiate more Spider-Man movies in the MCU. So I think Venom will be the key to the puzzle that surprisingly Kevin Feige was missing. So I would do it, but I would do it as a tease, meaning that the 5 Sinister Six fight all 3 Batmen, and then Venom is like, fuck it, I'm out. Like Venom is out, and then he has to come back. Like they have to come back together to fight him, or Spider-Man has to go look for Tom Holland. Tom Holland has to go look for Tom Hardy. Like that type of like cat and mouse game, because that's what's good about Venom. Yeah, or vice versa.
Because I believe that like the Venom movies he's set in San Francisco, because he's not based in New York, and some people speculate that what's going to make Tom Hardy's Venom character Eddie Brock go to New York is J. Jonah Jameson, because it was I guess teased that J.K. Simmons Jameson is like broadcasting news, and he's connected to Venom, and some people speculate that he's going to hear about Spider-Man through Jameson, prompting him to go to New York.
Oh my God. If that's the end credit scene and it's like, it's a menace, a total menace. And he's like, well, I have to cover this story. And I'm like, oh my God, if he goes to New York for Spider-Man.
That would be crazy. That, I could imagine. I could imagine that happening. Okay, cool. So we have very excited DC news, very excited Marvel news. Is that all we got?
I think we pretty much covered all of it. Make sure that you go to my Instagram poll tomorrow and after this show is posted, so you can vote for the Stack 'em Up. You guys have been very, 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 very supportive of that. This is our second most voted poll ever with over 5,700 votes. So that's a lot of people sharing your opinions on pop culture. So if you can download the episode, that would also be great. That would also help us a lot out.
Yep.
Having said that, we will be having some ad reads soon. So don't be surprised if your boys start reading off some ads mid-show. But having said all of that, that is all we have this week. So I have been delighted to bring you this news. My name is Jose Tropical Joe. It is I'm Tropical Joe on Instagram. I'm Tropical Joe on TikTok. Mizu, let the people know where they can find you.
I'm Mizu Shogun on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Doing more anime reviews. I just reviewed. I'm going to be doing Blue Exorcist.
Nice, great show.
Akame Got Killed, Erased.
Great show. Also a great show.
Yes. So look forward to those and more explaining things, such as more things with Naruto and One Piece and all that jazz.
Naturally, and if you guys do like Tokyo Revengers out there, make sure you watch Erased because it's like kind of the reason Tokyo Revengers exists. So yes, I'm Nixie Comedy on TikTok, NC Hammer 23 on YouTube. Just started posting there. Got like 12,000 views on my first video, which was crazy, guys. Thank you so much for all of that. And NC Hammer 23 on Twitch. I will be back on Wednesday. I have been gone. I've been at my girlfriend's graduation, as you can see from the cap, but my vacation is now over and it's back to the grindstone. So guys, I will see you on the Twitch page and all of my other socials, but until then, guys, bye.